1, 2, 3, 4. Mike and John got it going on. Mike and John got it going on. Mike and John got it going on. Mike and John got it going on.
We're going to do a show.
I don't want to do it.
Well, we're doing the show.
I don't want to do the show.
We're
right
doing
now.
it.
I'm not ready to do the show.
Well, I'm not ready
still
either.
recovering
When
from
have-
the weather.
When have we ever been ready? Hey, I had no power.
I know.
Again.
You got to move into a place that has better power
What kind
coverage.
of hillbilly area am I living in?
You gotta get rid of the hillbillies, is what they tell us.
Right.
You know, that's what causes the power outages. Hillbillies.
I don't know what's
Because they live in the hills and they're billies.
Yeah. So,
Well,
yeah.
at least we have power on.
yeah,
for
power's
the,
back. I know the storms that moved through yesterday, and
Yep.
got a chance to crank up my generator again.
That does have a manly feel to it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I don't have a generator.
And
so.
the thing is, of course, the power goes out like 5:30 yesterday.
Yeah, and you're going,
And so at first you're kind of like waiting for it to come back on.
how long do you wait to
Ex-
start up the generator?
Exactly. And I let a good hour of daylight go by before I'm like, all right, well, we're just going to have to hook up the generator.
Now
So I don't know
it's
how
dark.
long it's going to be. So now it's getting dark, and I'm trying to using the battery or the light on my phone to try and figure it all
They
out.
invented a thing called a flashlight.
So
just in case.
flashlight sucks. Actually, phone lights are better than flashlights.
You just got to get an LED flashlight.
I came to that conclusion. And,
Or use a lighter near that.
Yeah,
generator, John.
sure. As I'm pouring the gas in.
That'll really light things up.
It will. It will. But so then, so I got so I had this generator, and I texted my neighbors on each side of me.
Hey, I have a generator. How about you?
Yeah. No, I just said, hey,
You were
if you
bragging.
need to, I got a generator. If you want to come plug into it, because it's got 4 plugs, and I just said, and we're using 2. And I said, if you want to come plug in, help yourself out. And last time we had a power outage, did the same thing. Just to get your refrigerator or freezer going, whatever.
Yeah.
So I said, I texted this, and they're like, oh, thanks, yeah, we'll see, we'll do that. So a little bit later, I go out, and I see that my son has used the other 2 plugs. Because he's like, I need my computer, and I need... I'm like,
Well, what about
hey,
the neighbors?
fellas, sorry.
Never mind.
They never... that thing I said...
Never mind.
Yeah.
You reneged on it.
Yeah.
You know what?
They never had to do... I mean, we got power back
Relatively.
late last night. But so there's
That's
my
the-
update. I'm
That's
sure
the
you're all
good news.
thrilled.
Yes.
I'm
John
sure
has
all
one.
relieved. Oh, good. Phew.
Can we go start up the generator now just for fun?
We could.
Is it a pull start?
Yeah,
Kind
it
of
is.
like a
It is.
lawnmower?
Yeah, it is.
Did you ever have to swear at it? Because it had been sitting a long time. And
No,
Carburetor's
it's still
all
pretty
messed up.
new. That'll be
That's
next
good.
year.
Yeah.
That'll be next year.
Yeah, in the middle
Yeah.
of winter. When,
Right.
when it's freezing cold.
Right.
Yeah.
That's when I'll be swearing at it.
All right. Today, by the way, is World Alzheimer's Day.
Okay.
And coming up on Saturday is the Walk to End Alzheimer's.
That's right. In Brighton, it's the Livingston County Walk to End Alzheimer's, and we will be there. We hope to see you there.
Be there along with our friends from Cooper and Binkley Jewelers, which, by the way, are bringing us local news.
This is true.
Was that smooth or what?
Very smooth.
I started up my
Almost
generator.
as
We're good to
smooth as me starting up the generator,
Yeah.
holding a lighter.
go. What's happening in local news?
All right, here's what's going on. A 56-year-old Macomb County man has been charged with making multiple threats of terrorism against officials in Shiawassee County. George Hamas of Washington Township is accused of posting online death threats and threats via voicemail. When he was taken into custody Monday night, authorities recovered what they say was a stolen handgun and ammunition inside his home. Hamas was arraigned on Tuesday in 66th District Court and given a $100,000 bond. The midterm elections are coming up on November 8th, and advocates are reminding Michiganders to plan now on how, when, and where they'll cast their ballots. Tuesday was National Voter Registration Day, and nonpartisan groups such as the League of Women Voters and Promote the Vote say now is the time to register or ensure the registration's up to date. They're also encouraging people who want to be more involved in the democratic process to consider becoming a poll worker. Christina Schlitt, president of the League of Women Voters of Michigan, said it's essential to ensure the process goes smoothly. It was also National High School Voter Registration Week, and Schlitt noted the league's effort to emphasize the importance of getting young people involved by sponsoring competitions across the state with prizes for the most registrations. You'll find additional details and links at mikeandjohnpodcast.com. And Cleary University has announced the appointment of Nathan Benton as its head coach for esports. Benton served as assistant head coach of esports at Oakland University in Auburn Hills the past 2 years, where he was responsible for coordinating tournaments and served as liaison between tournament organizers and players. Benton grew up in Milford and earned his bachelor's degree in physics from Oakland University. Cleary is one of only a few universities in Eastern Michigan that offers esports, a new rapidly growing competitive sport among high school and college students across the country. And that's what's going on.
And news brought to you by Cooper and Binkley Jewelers in downtown Brighton, home of Simon G. and Zagani Jewelry. They've got the latest. You'll see on their Facebook page our friend Lindsay showing some of the newest finds from Simon G. and Zagani. So check that out. Also stop by the store and see Mark and Barb Binkley. They pride themselves on offering something special for everyone and recognize that customer satisfaction is the sole purpose of their business. Matter of fact, they're going in October. Correct? October to Antwerp?
Correct.
Diamond capital of the world. And they want to
Correct.
shop for you. They go hand pick
Correct.
the diamond that you would want.
That's right.
Come back and put it in a setting of your choice. Something custom designed. Check it out today. Go to Cooper and Binkley Jewelers in downtown Brighton and online, cooperandbinkleyjewelers.com. Coming up today, we've got to look at our 2-cent history lesson. We also, sadly, did not get a winner in
What's going on with
Tuesday
these
Night
questions?
Trivia.
What is going on with these questions? What are you doing? What are you doing over there?
I think I made it a little too tough. Well, I think people were going in different directions.
I hate when that happens.
So, do you want me to go through some of the answers?
All right, our question, according to a recent survey, more men than ever, almost 20%, now have one of these. What is it?
And a lot of people were going down the lines of beards, mustaches, tattoos,
Right.
something attached to their body, like
But
a man bag.
This is what I noticed about a lot of the answers were things that are, you would expect a man to want. If you look at the way the question's worded, it's like it's a surprise that up to 20% of men have one of these.
Now, they don't have to be single. It could be
Right.
married men too. But it's usually, when you think of a guy, things that a guy would have, this would be something that he probably doesn't.
It's not
but
necessarily.
It has increased.
Yeah.
Men
so
having one of these.
a formal suit was guessed,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a formal suit?
I did. I was at that wedding that I told you about. I had to dig that thing out of the back of the closet.
You know, by the pictures, it didn't look like you were in a suit, so you must not have had the jacket on very long.
I don't know how much clothing I was wearing.
It was one of those types of weddings.
It was an open
crazy.
bar.
And there was a pole on the dance floor. So we're really
well,
not
yes,
sure.
I entertained everybody. They're like, you know what? It's time to clear out this place. King, get on the pole.
Our good friend Susan, also known as Cougar,
Yeah.
said a nose hair trimmer.
Yeah.
Now, if only 20% of men have a nose hair trimmer, we have to increase that because nose hair can become a very distressful thing.
Well, I mean, the thing is usually you catch it,
At the
you
wrong
see it,
time.
you look, you're like, oh my God, what the hell is that? Where did that come
They
from?
should have a hideable nose hair trimmer, so nobody notices you're doing anything. Like
Right.
Just kind of go like this, and the hair's gone.
Right.
But in case you're
Very
at a
important.
wedding getting
Very
ready
important.
to do
Well,
your
yeah.
pole dance, you
Right,
can't say you don't want distraction.
No.
From
Because
the
they'll be
nose
so
hair.
distracted.
By the nose
They'll
hair,
be,
they won't see what's really happening. Maybe you do.
But
Trucks and
workshop full of tools.
muscle cars, because they're going to become a thing of the past, really.
Right.
Because you can't really say you got an electric muscle car, can you? It doesn't. It
You will. They've got them.
they'll be fast, but are they going to be a muscle car?
Yeah.
Muscle cars have to have the sound. What are you going to put a raw
They're
power?
going to
in
run
there?
a power. That's right. The
sound effect machine. Okay, how do we want it to sound today?
right.
That'll be how it is. You know,
Right.
the screen on your car.
Absolutely.
You got your electric car. All right, I think we'll make this sound like it's got a.
I want to sound like a
450
'69
Hemi.
Camaro.
Yeah, there you go.
know. Right. You'll just pick the model.
Even though I'm driving a
Yeah.
some kind of Toyota Prius,
I'm telling you, some of those electric vehicles, they will blow away.
I'm sure they will.
But Kevin said a billboard.
Huh. I don't know if 20% of men.
You know, more than maybe you knew before do.
That's true.
A man bun.
Yeah, we have to talk about the man bun. Men with man buns.
Yeah, it's a thing.
I know it's a thing, but how many women really find a man
That that's
sexy?
That's,
What's the percentage of women?
I don't know.
That
That
find
could
a
be
man
maybe that's
bun
tonight's.
sexy?
Maybe that'll be tonight's question.
Actually, I just noticed we got a winner.
We do have a winner. I saw.
I didn't see that last night, but we did get a winner.
Also guessed, and before we get to the actual
A
answer,
couple of people got it. What's going on
you better
here? Was there some copy?
Work
going
on that.
I've got
Body
a good time.
piercing, tattoo, European man bag. Brandon, of course, chiming in, a mistress. Okay.
He's back at it.
Well,
Congratulations,
Brandon's
man.
wife may have something to. Why don't
Brandon?
you give me your phone for a second, okay? An earring.
Yeah.
Which ear? That's a
I don't think
that's a big
matters
discussion point. Well, at least was back in the 80s.
anymore. Yeah.
And then it was
And we
always,
still-
it was always something different. No, the left means no, it's the right that means whatever.
I believe it was Pamela that got it first.
Okay.
Our correct answer.
And so again, the question, according to a recent survey, more men than ever, up to 20%, have one of these. What is it? The answer?
A cat.
A kitty cat.
I got a cat.
Yeah.
Now, maybe a baby tiger would be a little bit more manly.
Sure.
I don't know. I'm not a cat guy. 'cause
I
I'm
have a
allergic.
dog that is a cat.
Yeah, see.
So I kind of straddle both realms there.
You kind of have a cat impersonator.
Yeah,
is
it's
what you have.
it's right. Yeah, you're right. No, this is true.
It's a cat that isn't called a cat.
I have a drag cat. It's a dog that dresses up like a cat.
So congratulations to Pamela. I have to write her name down and put her in the official LiftMaster 8365 drawing box from our friends at Firehouse Doors.
Well, yeah.
So
I mean,
why don't you tell folks while I'm writing Pamela's name down about Firehouse Doors and the LiftMaster.
Well, I'm glad you asked,
8365.
Mike. Oftentimes people will say to me, "Hey, John.
Hey, John.
Do you know of a garage door company in Livingston County that's been around for, I don't know, more than 20 years?
Like
and
a quarter of a century.
Maybe is veteran-owned." Then I go, "Hey, wait a minute. You know what?
Hark.
I do know one." And
Who
in
goes there?
fact, Firehouse Doors, they've been serving Livingston County residents for the past 24 years. And yes, they are veteran-owned. Mike is a proud U.S. Air Force veteran. Firehouse Doors is your one-stop shop for residential, commercial, and rolling steel overhead door needs. You're making a lot of noise
I
with
know.
your paper.
It's cool sound effects.
Okay, sure. And for the past 21 years, Firehouse Doors has been Livingston County's only authorized distributor for CHI overhead doors. Call Firehouse Doors today, 810-599-7480. All right, and don't forget, we are coming to you from the LiftMaster Model 8365 studios. And Pamela is the latest contestant who has a chance to win that LiftMaster 8365 chain drive residential garage door opener.
It also includes a couple remote controls and outside keyless
That's
entry.
right. If you are
just
the
have to
winner-
remember the code.
Yeah, well, yeah, the code.
The code.
And if you're the winner, Firehouse Doors will come and remove the old opener, install the new one, as well as a keyless entry pad, and give you 2 more remote controls. But like you said, you got to remember the code.
And we do not recommend using 1, 2, 3, 4.
No, although maybe
Or
that's,
0, 0,
maybe
0,
that's
0.
so obvious you use it because no one will think that you're that dumb. Smart.
Or you could do it backwards and go 4, 3, 2, 1.
Right.
Really mess with them.
We had some work done in the house over the summer, and at various points we had to give the garage code to work crews or whatever.
The birds
we
have
were
it.
going to be home, and now I'm
Sometime-
like, well, do we change the thing? And
But then you have to remember it. It's like
I know,
changing
that's
a
what I'm saying.
password
Exactly.
on your computer. You're like, what, did I change that to?
Exactly.
And I think we might have went through that about a week ago
Yeah.
here in the 8365 LiftMaster Studios.
Well, I'd really like to thank Facebook for making it so easy to recover your password. They make it so simple.
All right, let's not
They have
get...
more money than God does, and
All right.
they have the worst system in the world. Oh, I'm sorry.
You all
They
right?
must have imported it from AOL. Like, dear Lord. All right, anyway.
If only you would have stuck with Ask Jeeves.
Ask Jeeves. When did that go away? You keep bringing up Ask Jeeves.
I don't know. I'm going to guess about 20 years ago. Which this is, by the way, our 20th anniversary week.
You know,
20 years.
We have failed to mention, you're right, that it was...
We mentioned it on Monday,
Yeah,
but I'm bringing it back up again.
We have failed to over-mention the fact that, yes, it is 20 years as a Livingston County broadcast team.
Bringing
week.
you, what, local news, entertainment, and information.
Oh, yeah.
And now on a website called mikeandjohnpodcast.com.
You know, I saw that web address somewhere. As a matter of fact, I saw it. I thought I was heading westbound on 96, and there was these picture of these two guys peeing in the woods.
Yeah.
And
They
right,
looked a lot
right
like
before
us.
D19.
And
Yeah.
We were not peeing in the woods during that photo.
No, we were not.
We had our pants on.
We were not.
And zipped.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
and then I think there was another time I was heading eastbound.
You were eastbound and down?
I was
loading up
eastbound and
trucking?
down. Eastbound and down.
Loaded up and truck.
Oh, hell yeah.
Fred in the truck. Fred the dog. Fred.
I was actually going to pick up my cat. But, so, yes, and I saw it again. I said, oh my God, that website, mikeandjohnpodcast.com.
How'd that get there?
Livingston County news, information, and entertainment. It's amazing.
It kind of is.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank our good friend KC.
Yeah,
for
Casey.
helping us out.
Thanks, Casey.
Casey helped.
But we also want to thank folks that made it possible. Our designer, Nikki,
yes,
making
Nicole.
it...
from Spirit of Livingston.
Yes, yeah. She was also very helpful
Yes.
in making that design come together. And our friend Christina, who took the photo.
Yes.
So
And Doctors Up took 10 years off.
right. So
All right.
yeah. So it was a team effort. Go team! Except the bill comes to us. Anyway,
Well, we had a little help.
then the
from-
team
from
disperses.
Casey.
So
we appreciate Casey.
yeah, that's true.
All right.
Severe Weather Network.
Hey, we were just talking about severe weather.
Yeah, we were.
And generators.
Except the Severe Weather Network is actually Livingston County's premier shelter program for homeless in the winter months. And they are facing a huge fundraising challenge.
Yes, they
and
are.
We're going to be talking with Diane Duncan, who
We
is
got to get her number, John.
co-chair of the Severe Weather Network
Yes, she is.
with the Livingston County Board of Directors of that organization. And hopefully find out more about the fundraising challenge.
And Diane is joining us right now.
Good morning,
Morning,
Diane.
Good morning, John and Mike. How are you?
We're doing well. So I know you're looking for funding to help with the Severe Weather Network and helping out the homeless here in Livingston County.
Yeah, we talked to you at I think we were at Smoke and Jazz.
Smoke and Jazz, yeah.
And we talked to you then, and you know you've got this huge fundraising challenge. You got to raise $200,000 by the end of October.
And where are you at right now as far as that goes?
So, well, first of all, thanks for having me on today. So we are not very far towards our goal. We've raised about $10,000 at this point.
Okay.
So, and we have in our savings right now for this upcoming season, we already had 35 saved. So we're at 45,000.
Okay.
But it's still a long way to go.
In a short
Correct.
time. I mean, October 31st is coming up pretty fast, and so I guess let's talk about how this happened. First of all, the Severe Weather Network. You've been in operation since 2016, correct?
Correct. Yes.
And
Yes.
you've been providing congregate shelter for Livingston County homeless in the winter months.
Yes.
But as most nonprofits can attest to, and businesses as well, the pandemic really threw you guys for a loop.
Yes, it really did. So we had really two significant challenges. The first being this particular nonprofit has always been run or staffed by volunteers. And so we have on our volunteer roster 450 trained volunteers. Mm-hmm. And so with the pandemic, one, people were afraid to be out, obviously, working with the vulnerable population because of COVID. Two, we had to require vaccinations for our volunteers and our staff because of the fact that we couldn't afford to have an outbreak at the shelter because we didn't have the necessary space to quarantine if we had an outbreak.
Right.
So that that was one, major challenge. And then the other piece of this was just the cost to open the shelter due to the pandemic, meaning we needed PPE, we had to buy air filtration systems, and then we had to, because we didn't have volunteers, and we had to hire staff, had to hire more staffing. And one of the significant costs of staffing is overnight security staffing. So really were two things there. It was the volunteer base, losing most of the people. I mean, I would say a quarter. We had about 75 to 100 of the volunteers that would, still come out and help. But then it was, the expenses due to the pandemic. So yeah, it hit us hard, very hard.
So it's, as John said, we're not that far off from October 31st to the target deadline here to get $200,000. And how are you looking to raise funds? What different ways are you using?
So we are reaching out to the community. We're reaching out to all of the churches in Livingston County, because a significant amount of our funding did come from our local churches. But we're looking out to the community, to businesses, asking for people to consider sponsoring the shelter, businesses to sponsor the shelter. And also, from a volunteer standpoint, this is a really great way as a company to do team building, team bonding with your employees and so forth. Come take a week in the evenings, and groups from your corporation come out and help there at the shelter and make it an event for your companies. We're also tapping into our we've applied for some grant funding. We'll see if we get that. And when I say grant funding, it's not grant funding through the government or the state. We're not able to. We don't qualify for those type of grants because we're not a full-time shelter, meaning we're not open year-round, right. And we're not open 24/7. We're open in the evenings from 6 in the evening.
Right. I mean, you are meeting the most immediate basic needs of these folks in the cold winter months, making sure that they have a safe, warm place to sleep. I mean, and that is meeting that very basic need that for a lot of these individuals they otherwise would not have.
Yep.
And
correct.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, well, and the other piece of that too, John and Mike, is we have in our budget also funding to help these individuals transition into stable housing. So we have helped our guests when they've come into us, because most of them don't just come in and stay one night. They're with us a significant amount of time. And they typically are with us until they're able to find an apartment, or they're able to get a Section 8 voucher, and whether it be they find an apartment here in Livingston County or they find an apartment in Washtenaw, we work with them to connect them to the resources to find that housing, but then we also help them to cover the rental deposit, to cover renter's insurance. If they have a job, we connect them with Michigan Works. We try to connect them out there to employers in the area. If they need to purchase a car, or they have a car and they have repair works that need to be done in order for them to get to and from work. I mean, we've helped them with that. I mean, it's not just about providing that immediate shelter. We case manage with them as well. And that's something that doesn't happen when they get a motel voucher from an agency for one night or 3 nights or 3 weeks.
Right.
That they don't get that case management. So they basically get the hotel room and they're behind a closed door, right? When you come to our organization, we really take them in. We take them under our wings and really try to connect them and help them transition and we try to figure out, why are you in this situation?
Yeah, and I was completely unaware it was more than just spend the night or a few nights during the winter. So there's connections outside of that, and of course, as we've been talking about, that takes money, and you're looking for donations, financial donations. I know you have a fundraising event, a trivia online event coming up. You want to tell us about that?
Yes. So we our big Fundraiser every year for the last 3 years minus the COVID year. We do a trivia night at St. Pat's Church in Brighton. It's October 15th, and it starts at 7 o'clock. Tickets can be purchased through our website. But it's honestly, it's so much fun. And Derek Kevra from Fox 2, he typically hosts it for us, and he'll be our host again this year. But we usually have about 200 people that come out for that, and it's really a wonderful time, great fellowship, a lot of laughs, and we'll have light hors d'oeuvres, a full bar, in-kind donation for that, and we'd love to have the community come out and join us.
Yeah, so hopefully that'll help close the gap a little bit, but as you said, I mean, it's a pretty big gap to close. Diane, what's going to happen if October 31st rolls around and you don't have this money? What will happen?
Yep, and that is a great question. So what we will do, the board has decided that if we do not have the funding that we need, the board will reconvene. We will meet, and we will decide whether or not we want to keep that money in our savings, basically, and continue to fundraise for our next season. Or will we take that money that we have and then distribute it out to other nonprofits here in the community that help with, helping the homeless transition into
right.
Housing and work and that type of thing. So we would decide at that point.
So this is kind of the lifeline of the network.
Correct. And I will tell you also, if we were to have, and we're more than willing to do this as well, we understand if a company or a church or an individual were to come with us and say, can I commit this money to you if you are going to open? So in other words, let's say somebody comes to us and says, we want to give you $10,000.
Right.
But we'll commit it to you now, providing that
the rest comes along. Right.
And then if not, and so we are completely open to that as well.
Sure.
And
That's like the crowd fundraising
like
type model where you make the and so people are and so that's a good point to mention and again on your website, which is livingstonswn.org, there's a direct donate button people can do if they just want to make a direct donation. Also, even just little things help in terms of supporting the Severe Weather Network, just using the Smile Amazon program.
Yes.
If they go to smile.amazon.com, everything you purchase on Amazon, Severe Weather Network will get a portion of that.
Correct.
But the trivia night, it sounds like on October 15th at St. Pat's. That's hopefully we'll see a good crowd and get a good turnout for that.
Yes, correct. And I think another thing just to add here too is if we were to see a significant commitment for volunteers for the season, we would be able to pull that budget down. So in other words, that $200,000 is basically running the shelter without a volunteer team.
Oh, that's a great point.
It's running the shelter with a full staff.
Right.
So that's a if we were to get a commitment or commitments from churches, from organizations that they would donate a week of their time or their people, and we can plug that in for our weeks, then we could pull that budget down and, we could open with less than that.
Just to get an idea of when you're talking about volunteers, for say it's a one night volunteer, say a group gets together and say, how many people do you need per night for volunteers?
So typically we ask for between 7 and 10. We have the different opportunities would be to prepare a meal and then serve the meal. Then we have people that help with the check-in process, and then we have overnight staff. So those would be people that would come in, and we like to have 2 people there at night that are just there to manage things throughout the night, and they can sleep in shifts, so that works out really well. We have an area with a cot and a comfortable area that they can take breaks and sleep. And then the other one is a laundry. We call them the laundry angels. So basically, twice a week we leave towels and bedding for the laundry angel to come pick up in the morning, and then launder and bring back to us at night.
So you can actually volunteer and do stuff at home in a way
Yes.
to
Right.
help
Absolutely.
out.
So there's a variety of ways that people can pitch in and volunteer their time.
So it's not just, you have to be there at 5 p.m. and go home at 5 a.m. the next day.
Correct.
So
Right.
Yes.
there are lots of ways you can put your talents to use by being a
And people
volunteer.
can find out how to do that and learn more about the training process again on your website, livingstonswn.org, and there's a volunteer tab that they can
Yes.
click on, and that'll have more information. I think there's a video that they can watch and get more information that way.
Yes.
So we
Yep.
would certainly encourage people to do that.
Yep, and the training is very easy. It's all online. It's about 45 minutes, and so it's a really easy way to come in and help. And we do ask that our volunteers do be trained, just because of the nature of the work that's being
Of course,
done.
yeah.
Sure.
And let me add as well. So the age for volunteering, if you're volunteering at the shelter, you do have to be over 18. So, but if
Right.
you are doing laundry or that type of thing, or preparing a meal and bringing it in, you don't have to.
Okay.
So if we had a group from the high school that wanted to prepare a meal, they could prepare it, bring it in. They just couldn't stay to serve it if they weren't, 18.
Right.
So,
All right,
Very
still
good.
good to know. So again, we'll push everyone to the website, livingstonswn.org, for the Severe Weather Network. Details there. And of course, the Trivia Night fundraiser coming up October 15th at St. Pat's Church. And hopefully you get a good turnout there. And let's hit that $200,000 mark. It is time is running fast, but hopefully people will realize what a great resource Severe Weather Network is, and not let it slip away.
yep.
All right, Diane Duncan, co-chair of the Severe Weather Network for Livingston County. We appreciate what you do and spend a little time with us to pass the word out.
Well, we appreciate you. Thank you so very much. You both have always been a great advocate for us, and we so appreciate you.
Yeah,
So,
of course, Diane. We as Mike said, we really appreciate the work that you do, and hopefully we'll connect soon and
Have some
talk
good
about
news,
the
talk about the funds that were raised.
Exactly.
So. All right.
I will certainly let you know.
All right,
Thank you
Diane.
so much for your time. Have a wonderful day, guys.
All right, you
Thanks,
too.
you do the same. All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, so again, Severe Weather Network. Want to check it out? Please do. LivingstonSWN.org. Also want to thank Richter and Associates Property Management, one of the sponsors here on Mike and John Got It Going On. Licensed real estate brokers, rental property experts in Livingston, Genesee, and Oakland counties with 40 plus years in the business. Located in downtown Howell, you can go on their website, richterassociates.com. That's RICHTERASSOC.com. Or give them a call at 517-540-9560. And they've got a couple of properties that they've got out for rent right now. One is at 420 East Frank Street in downtown Fowlerville, and also at 2832 Sycamore River. That's brand new construction, and those are some rental properties that you can take a look at. And Richter and Associates Property Management, they're the place to go to find out all the best opportunities.
Yeah, if you've got a business, you're looking for a place to locate to, they can help you out.
Yep.
Richter
So,
and Associates.
and again, that's RICHTERASSOC.com.
Easy for John to say.
Thank you.
Today, along with being World Alzheimer's Day, it's also World Gratitude Day. Thank you.
Thanks. By the way, we want to thank our friend Drew Goebel at Oakland Insurance, who sponsors the 2-cent history lesson.
That was pretty smooth because I was going to say we're getting to the 2-cent history lesson
I
today.
figured this was the time to
You're-
thank Drew.
You're really on. You're really on it.
I am. It's going to wear off soon.
He inhaled a lot of the gas from
Yeah,
that
that's
generator.
absolutely.
You know he likes
Yeah.
to sniff exhaust.
Well, yeah, I already told you that story. Drew Goebel of Oakland Insurance, or Michigan-based Frankenmuth Insurance. Of course, the best relationships, honest, upfront, and fair, and that's what you'll get with Drew Goebel at Oakland Insurance. Give him a call, 248-647-2500.
September 21st.
All right, 9/21.
Is today the first day of fall? Or
I
is
think
that like
tomorrow.
that'll be the first full day or something?
No, I think tomorrow
Tomorrow's
is
the
like, I
first
think
day
the
of fall?
equinox is
All right, so, yeah, the
5:30
equinox.
something in the afternoon.
Those are now electric. So let's go to it's National Pecan Cookie Day.
pecan pie.
Nope, cookies.
Okay, pecan cookie.
It's
No, doesn't do it.
let's see, International Peace Day. Peace, man.
Hey man,
Peace.
piece of what?
A piece of pecan cookie day.
Yeah. By the way, equinox, the autumn equinox, the autumnal equinox,
Autumnal.
9:03 p.m.
Autumnal will be here.
Thursday. So
All right, tomorrow.
we've got about another day of summer left. And it's supposed to be a pretty warm day here on Wednesday. And then Thursday,
Forget about
to hark in the first day of fall, it's going to be like
Cold.
40 degrees lower.
Yes, long
All
pants.
right, anyway, go on.
It's miniature golf day today.
I can't think of anything that I like less than miniature golf. It's one of those things that you see it and you go, oh, that'll be fun. And then you realize quickly, this is not fun. I'm not having fun. This is stupid.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to suggest we have a mini golf tournament, but I guess I won't.
You know, I should say, though, I'm basing that on going miniature golf with family. If you bring your family. Because, one kid wants to race through. The other kid is taking their time like they're Tiger Woods at the Masters.
Well,
and you're like,
there's one-
speed it along!
There's one that's always going to hit it over the little bumper,
Right.
and it's going to end up on
Right.
off the course.
Somebody's trying to power swing the thing, and you're like, just calm down. Yeah, and then you get all frustrated. And that's when I break out the fireball.
You're going to need a bigger bottle.
Okay.
1893 on this day, Frank Doria took what is believed to be the first gasoline-powered automobile for a test drive. Frank Doria.
All right.
1913, the first acrobatic stunt was performed when a pilot in France conducted the first sustained upside-down flight. Aerobatic stunt. Sorry, did I say acrobatic? I meant aerobatic.
Either way.
So he was doing like a
Right.
Tom Cruise in
Did he?
Top Gun.
Right, of course. Yeah.
Going upside down.
Did he?
Probably not as many
Hopefully he
G's.
had a seatbelt.
Well, I'm guessing he had the leather hat and the goggles,
Well, yeah.
the leather helmet. Like Charles,
Snoopy?
no, well, yeah, like the Red Baron. Was it Lindbergh?
Charles Lindbergh, yes.
Yeah.
Well, Lindbergh was in a cockpit, but that's all right. I don't think he really had the goggles and the scarf. Sorry to ruin that for you.
1961. 21-year-old singer by the name of Bob Dylan recorded his debut album in one day. Studio bill was $400 in 1961.
Well, that's quite a bill.
This was prior to teaching the Beatles how to smoke pot.
Wait. We took our lessons from Bob Dylan.
He introduced us
Sorry,
to
John.
the wacky weed.
I can't get to the studio. I've got my spot smoking lesson with Bob
with
Dylan.
Dylan. He had his own pipe. It was called the Dylanator 2000.
You know, if it was legal back then, they would have marketed it. Trust me.
Here's the Dylanator. Big bong. 1970. Monday Night Football made its debut on ABC TV.
I can hear the music now.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The Yellow Jackets. The black
Now,
ABC logo.
who was the original crew? Was Frank Gifford original?
I want to say it was probably like Vin Scully.
I don't think so.
And,
Do you think so?
Frank Gifford. Probably Howard Cosell was in there early. I don't know if it was
What about
1970.
Dandy Don Meredith?
Dandy Don Meredith. I bet he was in there. 1970. The broadcast team. And that was when Monday Night Football was a big thing. Now
Well,
it's like
God.
now there's two games going on.
That
at
was
the
just
same time.
Okay.
Who's playing?
Yeah. All right, we'll look this up.
1980. Bob Marley collapsed while jogging in New York Central Park. He was diagnosed with having cancer. We're not sure if it was from what he was smoking. But they took him to the hospital and they said, hey, Bob, you've got cancer. Somehow I just never pictured Bob Marley as a jogger. Who was the team?
Oh, yes, I do have that. The first Monday Night Football team, Howard Cosell, Keith Jackson,
Hello again, everybody.
and Frank Gifford. They did try to hire Kurt Gowdy and Vin Scully,
Yeah,
but
Kurt
they
Gowdy.
couldn't. They couldn't hire him away.
Well, weren't they doing Monday Night Baseball?
I think that, exactly, and so they had to settle for Keith Jackson,
Dandy Don.
which
Meredith.
I like Keith Jackson. I thought Keith Jackson was good. Anyway, and then they went to Dandy Don Meredith couple of years later.
Dandy Don.
Yeah. All right, now we know.
All right. 1985, with the help of heavy rotation on MTV, Money for Nothing gave Dire Straits their first U.S. #1 single. And how innovative was that video back
Right.
then?
And you know what? It still holds up today. I mean, you can still watch it today. It's pretty good. When you consider that the thing is almost 40 years old.
True. You look at the technology and
I
say,
mean, right, but
boy,
it's still
back then,
it's still pretty good. It's not like, when you watch like Davy and Goliath, the claymation. Remember Davy and Goliath? Yeah.
Wow. Like Gumby.
Yeah, exactly.
It was on this day in 1998. Bill Clinton's video testimony in the Monica Lewinsky case.
The
was
Bill
brought
Clinton
to-
sex tape. This is quite boring. It's just him talking.
And finally, in 2007, Snoop Dogg was sentenced to 3 years probation and 160 hours of community service after pleading guilty to carrying a collapsible baton.
What?
The rapper was arrested in September of 2006 after the baton was found in his bag at John Wayne Airport in Orange County, California. And in April of 2007, he was given 5 years probation and 800 years of community service
800
after
hours.
pleading no contest for gun and drugs charges
Right.
in California.
Okay.
I don't think Snoop served any real time
I doubt it. No. I'm
because
sure
now
he
you
didn't.
see him on TV.
Well, was hawking his pot. Times have changed.
And him and Adam Sandberg are selling Corona or
Right.
something on the beach.
Yep.
So, yeah, say no to drugs.
Well, I mean, if somebody went into a coma 20 years ago and they came out of it now, I mean, just... Whereas before, oh my God, drugs up against the wall, you got pot, throw you in the slammer. Now you've got Snoop on TV going, hey, buy my new Bob Dylan bong. I mean, okay. Sure, okay, yeah.
You know, there could be tests done. Remember the Pepsi challenge when you had the Coke versus Pepsi thing? You could have the
Yes, I like
The
this.
Dylan versus the Snoop.
This is great.
The Dylan versus
Yeah.
dog.
Right.
It'll probably be a reality series.
Maybe our good buddy Jerry Millen at the greenhouse could run a test, like a taste test.
This one has better vapability.
Exactly. Think about that.
They could do the
The greenhouse challenge.
Jerry, you're gonna owe us for this.
Yeah, it's a free spot. We'll invoice you on that.
All right, so that's your 2-cent history lesson.
Okay.
Brought to you by our friends Drew Goebel and company at Oakland Insurance. Give them a call today at 248-647-2500.
Right.
Dude.
Oh, yeah, man.
So coming up tomorrow,
All right, what are we doing tomorrow?
well, we'll do the 2-cent history lesson
Okay,
again
good. And
for
hopefully
tomorrow.
hopefully have a winner. In
Yeah,
our
well, we
trivia.
had two today.
Oh, that's
Well,
true.
we
I
had
forgot.
one,
Yeah,
but two
I
people
forgot.
did get
We
it right.
discovered the winner at the last
We
second.
just-
we
yeah,
do have a
almost-
winner. Oh my
Almost missed it.
God.
So I wasn't making the questions too tough.
All right. Yeah.
There'll be
Pat
another one for
yourself
Wednesday
on the
night
back.
trivia. And we'll talk to Rich Broberg maybe
Yes,
Thursday
about
for
some-
The Less You Know.
Something.
Not sure what we're talking to him about, but we'll find out.
We don't really even know when we're talking to him what we're talking about.
Pretty much.
That's the nature of that conversation.
The less you
So,
know.
yeah.
We do know if you're having car trouble, Murphy's Family Auto is the place to call. 517-552-3040, or you can stop by, drop off your vehicle. They're even open on Saturdays from 8 to 1. And the cool thing is, if you mention, Mike and John sent me, and I saw their billboards on I-96, you'll get 5% off on your bill. You don't even have to mention the billboards. I just thought I'd do another cheap plug.
Do we have billboards?
That's what I thought. I
that's
saw.
right. We
Somebody
do
put them
have
up there,
billboards,
and I don't
yeah.
know how they got
Who did that?
I don't know.
How'd that happen?
It's crazy.
Well, we'd like to thank Casey.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you, Casey.
Thank you, Casey.
No, thank you,
No,
Casey.
thank you. Okay. Well, that's enough nonsense for
It
one
sure
day.
is.
Yeah, I'll
That's
tell you.
going to do it for this Wednesday. Last day of summer. Put on flip-flops. Hang out by the closed pool.
It's a trampoline now.
You've been giggling with Mike and John. Tune in next time and giggle on.
Giggle on, man. Yeah.
We're post-show now.
We are post-show. And yesterday I had something for post-show that I was going to save for trivia for last night. And I didn't. So I have that for post-show tomorrow because it's in my car right now.
Oh, I see.
Unless you want me to run up to my
No,
car.
that's okay.
That takes too
kind
much
of a
time.
boring post-show, me sitting here waiting for you to come back from your car.
And I might not come back.
You know,
That would be kind
I would just be like, an hour later.
It'd be kind of like,
how far away was his car?
kind of like when you took that date to.
Don't be reminding me about that.
And she never came out of the house.
What the hell, man?
Sorry about that.
It's bogue, dude.
That was pretty,
That's pretty
that
bogue.
was pretty uncalled for.
It's pretty bogue. You know what?
So, I
does
don't know
anyone
if you-
use the word bogue anymore?
I don't think they do. If you went up to
was that a
kid
70s
today-
thing?
Yeah, that was kind of 70s, early 80s.
Yeah.
I think there are some of those terms where if you said to kids today,
Right, you
and even
kids these
20-somethings, if you said bogue, they
Right. Oh, that's bogue, dude.
It's kind of like now how they're using a bougie, you know.
Yeah, okay.
I that's not a term
That's not
we
a
would
term,
use.
right.
That would be more yuppie or, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard it used. It's not one that I normally
My
would
kids
reach
use it
for.
and I'm cool to what it means.
Right.
But it's not one that I'm
But I don't.
use.
But even I, I mean, we've talked about the various words of the 70s that we grew up that were very ubiquitous, like bogue.
Sure.
Like, hey, I got a book.
Yeah,
It's time to book,
I'm
man.
booking.
I got a book.
And one time I said to my boys, "You want to take a swig?"
Yeah.
And they were like, "What's a swig?"
Yeah.
What is
What's
this
a
thing
swig?
called a swig?
Right.
You
There are
know?
and that is like
How's about a swig?
when
I'm
that
gonna show you.
happens too.
For those that
It
don't
is
know,
like getting
I'm
slapped
gonna
across the face with
take
a
a
fish
swig.
of just like how old you are. Like, oh, you don't know what a swig
They
is?
don't say 23 skidoo anymore.
No.
Okay, Grandpa.
What the hell?
Great Grandpa.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So
that
there
was
you
our
go. That's your
post
little
show.
primer in 70s lingo, like mama. Hey, mama.
Foxy.
Foxy.
She's a fox.
If she's a foxy mama.
You don't say that. You'd probably end up in jail.
If
now.
you know, yeah. She's not a foxy mama. Hey, that's bogue. I got a book.